So for our capstone project, we create a nutrition AI chatbot. I'm the team leader, Mana Chulamani, and for my role is testing as well as developing the website.
My name is Christopher Torres. I'm the chatbot developer.
And my name is Antonia Igoba, and my role is organizing the project documents and as well as a PowerPoint slide and also the chatbot testing.
Now for our agenda for today, we'll be talking about the project summary, as well as the project plan, an overview, as well as a demo of the chat box, and then our conclusion. Now for our project summary, our objective, we develop an AI chatbot using an open source software called BotPress that will be helpful for users with building their diet as well as building a healthier lifestyle. We built this with a data set with food, CSV, and then other internet sources.
And for the project plan, which is 4 phases, for the phase 1, we did a research on data sets, OpenAI, and then we selected the data set to use as well as the OpenAI. And for the phase 2, which is the development, we developed the chatbot, and then we train the chatbot with the database, as well as we test the chatbot with the nutritional inquiries. And for the phase 3, which is the finalization, we developed the chatbot. Then we did an AI generated testing on the chatbot, as well as we developed a testing scenario for the chatbot. And also for the final phase, which is the final deliverables, we did a dataset package, and then we deployed the chatbot to the website, and also we did a final presentation on the chatbot. And for the milestone goals, we had 3 milestones in this project. The first milestone is we did an open research for an open source software for the chatbot development. We also did a data set train. That is, we trained we did the research on data set to train the AI. And also we selected the data set to use as well as the OpenAI. On milestone 2, we developed the chatbot. We acquaint ourselves in the team meetings about the chatbot development, and then we train the chatbot with the database we have integrated into the chatbot, as well as we test the chatbot with the nutritional inquiries we integrated into it. And for the milestone 3, we did the final testing on the chatbot, and we did some little adjustments that were necessary for the chatbot, as well as the final testing of the chatbot.
Now for our data set, we consider using various types of data from sources we found from the internet, such as Food Data Central, as well as Kaggle and data.world. We end up selecting food CSV from Kaggle since it had much of a simpler attribute to work with, along with informative collections from various types of nutrition information for different type of food groups.
Now, as for the software we choose to use BotPress, an open source platform for developers to help build digital assistants. The way this works is using a component-based node system. Each node serves a function that the bot would work through a loop, starting with a trigger node that would prompt a greeting when the user asks, a greeting node for that greeting itself, a menu node that provides a selection for the user for the two functions. The two functions are a capture node, which the purpose is to input user-generated information to feed to the bot. The question function is where the user would ask the bot, and the bot will respond using an AI function that will learn from the knowledge base that we created for the bot and answer the questions based on that knowledge base. And lastly, you can choose to end the conversation to end the chat box functionality. Now for this section of deployment and demonstration, we'll go over an overview on the bot's functionality, the limitations of it, and our demonstration. A chatbot works by answering questions based on nutritional facts and values, such as carbohydrates. It's based on different nutritional values that we got off the food.csv file, and it works by that by using a AI generated function to generate responses based on the data set and web sources that we fed the bot to. It doesn't use any outside resources, just on what we gave it.
The website will be launched on the AWS website, which will contain a frequently asked questions as well as the chatbots itself to provide questions and answers for users for their nutritional needs.
The user will be able to ask questions to the chatbot and get nutritional answers, and also the bot will be able to the user will be able to use the two functions, which are the function to impute calories for the food item and also in general questions functions.
Now, the functionality of the AI is extremely limited. It requires that we have to use it within a usage, or else when that usage goes up, we have to ask for payments due to the limitations of the software. So with this limitations, the testing of the AI generated responses was very limited. And the other issue we ran into is the issues for capturing data. The purpose is to capture inputted data that users submitted with facts, numbers, or external sources, but it is extremely limited. So to have it work properly, we had to limit the function to using specific variables based on food item names and their calories. It stores the data, and the bot repeats the data, but sometimes it doesn't use it or is overridden by another data. It's very limited in function. Now, we begin our demonstration with an overview of the web page, the bot components, and the bot running on the website. Now, this is all the components of the bot. We have the trigger bot, which will give a greeting, the main greeting itself, and the menu to go to the two functions. The top three cards up top are the capture functions, where the bot is able to take any inputted data from the user and repeat that back to them and store it. And the two cards on the right are the questions functionality itself, using an AI task that will generate responses based using an AI algorithm.
Now for the website itself, it's launched on AWS, and when you first refresh the page, the chat box will automatically open up. This is just our preview that we had tested so far. But to begin, you just start by saying hello to the chatbots. And then you click on Ask a general question. And then you will ask the question that you would like. What is an PM? And then it will tell you the information and ask if you would like another question. So you can either press yes or no. In this case, we say no. Then it just in the conversation. And then for the website itself, it just tells you the basic of what the chatbot is going to be used for. And then here are some frequently asked questions for users to know what they're looking into when they're working with the chat box and what kind of questions they can ask, as well as how updated it is with new information. And then on the very bottom, it shows who the project was developed by.
For the conclusion, what we've learned so far from the project is that we learned how to develop a nutritional chatbot, and also it was interesting to learn how AI function, and we learned how to collaborate to achieve a successful goal.
As for the development experience, it was a very tough but a rewarding experience. Training an AI is a lot more harder than it looks and requires a lot of more trial and error than we expected. But in the end, it came together and we learned a lot from it.
So this concludes our presentation for today. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.